What's going on, YouTube? Today we're in the 10 scale garage to talk about a hole in my heart. If we take a look over here on the shelf, you'll notice that on my 10 scale car shelf, there's one missing. That spot used to be occupied by my Red Cat Lightning 10 scale drift car. I made a video about it way last year. It was actually one of my first videos, and it did pretty well. Anyway, that car is actually kind of the mascot for this channel. And about 6 months ago, I ended up selling it to my buddy Reese. Remember him? What the heck, Reese?
What?
Yeah, that guy. So he has it, he's been using it, and ever since then, I've had a hole in my heart that I've been trying to fill. And I've filled it. And I gotta say, the reviews that I saw online were really, really good. But then when I actually got it here and started taking a look at it, I noticed a few things. But let's check it out. So here it is. This is my 1/10 scale HPI E10 Drift. So here it is in all of its glory, and I think it looks pretty awesome. I bought this thing on eBay. I think the grand total was like 220 bucks, and it took 4 or 5 days to get here. So pretty quick, all things considered. So my buddy Ethan actually has an HPI Sprint 2 Drift that he's had for a couple years now. And that thing is probably the best four-wheel drive, belt-driven drift car that I've ever driven before. That thing is really cool. So I went online and watched a bunch of videos about it. There aren't a whole lot of videos about this one specifically, but the E10 has been around for a little while now, and it's a pretty proven chassis, and there's a lot of information out there about them. The cool thing about the E10 platform is they make a touring car layout and another layout that is just for drift. And it basically rearranges the electronics and gives it a little bit better weight balance for drifting. And I thought, cool, you know, it's a little bit different than a normal touring car, which is then converted with just like some drift tires and then they call it a drift car. They actually have put a little bit of thought into this to make it handle like a drift car. And I think the body on this thing looks really, really cool. This is actually modeled off of a real car. So the guy that drives this car in real life, his name is Andy I can't pronounce his name. He's super duper Russian. I follow him on Instagram though, and he can rip this thing. And it is a pretty accurate replica of his legit drift car. So I just got it today, and I was super excited to rip it out of the box, but then I noticed a few things. So this actually has Toyo tires on it, and the ones that HPI makes are a lot different than the drift tires that you just buy on eBay or Amazon. These are a different compound, and they're a little bit softer, but they are really, really nice to drift on. I really, really like these tires on Ethan's car, and I know I'm gonna like them on this thing too. Sadly, however, it's not all rainbows and sunshine. Let's dig a little bit deeper, take the body shell off, and have a look. So here we are inside the E10, and as you can see, it's got the drift layout as opposed to the touring car layout in there. Pretty cool. They've had to mount the steering servo pretty far back, so it's got this super duper long plastic linkage that goes all the way up to the bell crank up here. And everything in this chassis, I mean everything, is plastic. And not like super duper really nice high quality plastic. It's pretty chintzy. Even the drive shaft is plastic, and it's got quite a bit of flex in it. I mean, look at this drive shaft. Granted, you know, you're not sending a whole bunch of power through this thing, but an aluminum drive shaft on a car that's well over $200 would have been nice. Also, it uses Tamiya connectors. And I know what you're thinking, we'll just chop them off and put an adapter on there or buy an adapter, etc., etc. And yeah, I know, I get it. That's what I'm gonna do, unfortunately, but it's just a hassle. Now, HPI, in their claim to fame, sends these things truly ready to run. So you get a battery, you get a charger, and you even get 4 AA batteries for the transmitter. So they send you this nickel metal hydride 200 milliamp hour battery. But taking a closer look here, it looks like it might actually be pretty difficult to use a regular LiPo battery. The ESC can handle a LiPo battery, but I'm talking about the chassis. I don't know if it can handle it. Take a look. Oh, and another thing, when I went to take this battery tie down off, it is crazy. It feels like I'm gonna break it. All right, so you see in the chassis here, it's got these little tabs, and that's made so it fits the stock battery perfectly. See, the stock battery sits in there, it's held in by those little tabs. You put this little battery retainer thing back on there, and boom, there you have it. So here we have just a regular run-of-the-mill 2S 5200 milliamp LiPo battery. And that thing, I mean, yeah, it fits in there, but it's sliding around a little bit. And if we put this on, it doesn't go down far enough to get the pins through to hold this thing in place. So, all right, so here we have a super old and abused Florian 3S soft pack. Let's see if this fits in there. I mean, not great. What do you do with this now? Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. All right, so that fits on there. It looks like I can just barely get the pins in to hold this thing down, but then we've got this thing to sort out, and this, it's awfully tight in there. It's super tight in there. So, I mean, this one fits. Oh, jeez. But I don't even know if this thing can handle 3S LiPo, and I'm kind of scared to find out. So maybe I could grind this down, or maybe I could cut some holes in it to use Velcro straps instead of that little battery retainer. But so I know that I think Genzace makes a LiPo battery that is actually in this form factor, but now I gotta buy a special battery just for this thing. Now, the suspension on this thing is really, really firm. Check that out. Friction shocks. You couldn't add oil to these things even if you wanted to. None of the reviews I watched mentioned anything about that. I mean, this is what you get in like toy grade stuff. But HPI has thought of this, and on the box, they show you about all the upgrades that you can get. Adjustable height shock set. Part number 88054. I wonder how much those are. HPI Racing 88054 E10 adjustable height shocks. For 2, what do you think the price is? For 2 shocks. 10 bucks? 15 bucks? 20 bucks? 25 bucks? $32. Only 3 left in stock. Order soon. So you're telling me it's going to cost another $64 to put some shocks on here that I can fill with oil? So maybe I'm being unfair to this thing. You know, I wanted a drift missile, something that I wasn't super duper invested in, that I didn't really have to worry about, that I didn't have to be somewhat careful with, that I could just go out and thrash with no cares. I don't know if this is it, guys. What do you think I should do with this? Should I attempt at upgrading it with at least some suspension? I really don't know at this point. I haven't driven it, but to be honest, the way that this thing drives and performs better blow me away. But I just don't see it. Anyways, that's going to do it for this one, guys. Thank you so much for joining in. I hope you're still watching here at the end of the video. And just for those of you that still are, I want to let you know that this Friday, April 17th at 7 o'clock p.m., that's going to be my time, Eastern time, I'm going to be going live with OMG RC and my good buddy, Jeff C. we're going to be over on OMG RC's YouTube channel. And if you haven't seen any of his videos, check him out. He does RC shenanigans on the regular. He just built a Honda Civic, a front wheel drive Tamiya, and that thing is a tire slayer. Check out his entire selection on his website. I'm going to put a link in the description along with a link to his YouTube channel. So if you're into RC chat and RC good time shenanigans, check it out this Friday. It's going to be a good time. Alright guys, let me know in the comments, what do you think I should do with this thing? Should I just pack it up and send it back and get what I should have got originally, a Red Cat Lightning? Never should have sold that thing. Alright guys, we'll see you next time. Peace.